right. Comparison is the thief of joy. Who said it?
Oh my gosh, you've said it so many times and now I can't think of who it was. Why you want to
All
do
right.
that?
Winston Churchill. Winston
Churchill.
Churchill.
Okay.
All right. He had lots of good little quotes.
We got to
Very,
get
very astute.
real about this, don't we?
Yeah, I got to get real about this. I'm struggling with that whole comparison thing. And I have to say, almost every reseller interview I listen to, of the ones we've done, the piece of advice that they want to pass on is just don't compare yourself to others when you start,
Right.
because it can be very, very discouraging. All right. So yeah, I know it. I know it, Molly, but help me out here. So
So
I've been doing,
go ahead. I was going to ask you, what are you doing that the comparisons coming in?
all right. So I've been doing a lot more social media, a lot more analytics. And when I'm on social media, right, I'm posting for the business, I'm posting for C chats, I'm, looking at, see what other resellers are doing. That's part, like, I love to, celebrate wins and see what other
Sure.
resellers are doing, see what other podcasts are doing, just see what's happening in the community. And so being on social media a lot, I see a lot of people's, I'm going to say, their highlight reels. I don't always think of them like that. It's everybody's highlight reel, right? The best things that are happening to them. And it's starting to weigh on me. And I find myself subconsciously comparing myself to others and thinking, well, wait, why are they doing so well? Why does that podcast have, 1 million followers? Or why does that YouTube channel have, 15K subscribers? And it's and I keep thinking, like, the next thought that pops into my mind is, all right, why do they, yes, they're doing a great job and I'm happy for them and that's awesome, but what the heck am I doing wrong? What is wrong with me when I play, like, I'm playing that game and I'm saying, well, why can't I? And I'm focusing on others and not myself. Help me out here,
Okay.
because it
I'm
really
gonna
bums me out.
I'm gonna take you back to a couple of things, first of all.
Yeah.
Just in this particular thing with you. Number one, we say it all the time. We were a podcast with a YouTube channel.
Yep.
A lot of those YouTube channels are YouTube channels. That's all they do, right?
Yep.
So that's one thing. The second thing is we said it from the get-go that we don't want to mass build quickly with unorganic followers. We could get our numbers up, but we want organic people in our YouTube and podcast community who are truly a part of the reselling life and want to be a part of learning a little bit about consignment along the way too.
Yeah.
So I think that too has something to do with that. But I also think that instead of thinking of it that way, think of all the amazing things, the feedback we get from people, how we've gotten feedback of how we've changed people's lives through what we do by having this.
Yeah.
That in and of itself is huge, huge.
It is. So focus more on that.
The wins.
This hadn't been bothering me until I started doing more social media. It really hadn't been creeping into my subconscious until I was doing more social media.
All right.
Or,
So
like, what about, here's something we see all the time. Somebody has a huge package. I mean, people might look at our package, stacks that we post and think, oh
yeah,
my God, like, I could never do that. But so somebody's probably looking at ours and thinking that and getting discouraged. I'm looking at somebody else's and saying, oh my God, they have 100 packages going out today. What's wrong with me?
nothing.
Nothing. So how do I stop this from creeping into my brain? Like,
Oh, you got to have some kind of mantra you throw right out when it creeps.
oh,
I think of the, like, when they say you want to break a habit, like biting your nails, the
yeah.
therapist used to say, put a rubber band on your hand. Every time you go to do it, snap the rubber band, and that little ping will give you a don't do it. I think you need like some kind of a mantra that every time your head starts to go that way, you're the queen of quotes. Throw it out there. Stop it.
I think I'm going to put it up on my quote board. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah. I mean, we have to be happy of all of the amazing things that we've done in the last year. I mean, we've made it so much further than other podcasts ever made it, right? Like,
True. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, there's so many positive things. I guess it's just looking at those positive things.
Look, you're human. You're human. I mean, we all do it. We all let it creep in. We all do it. But none of our businesses, and that's one of the things we say when we're together with other resellers, it is so much fun to meet other resellers, to find out what their businesses are like, because although we have things in common, they're all different. The business models are different. The owners' personalities are different. The items that they sell are different. How they get those items are different. You can't compare. It's not the same thing. None of our businesses are the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% true. Yeah.
Think of the businesses that are uber successful with zero social media.
Yeah.
Zero social media, yet they're successful.
Yeah. And I think I didn't have these feelings when I wasn't doing a lot of social media. I'm going to be honest, I didn't have those feelings. And now I do.
Social media is the beast, the creator, the flamethrower of this kind of thinking across the board.
Yeah, because I mean, I consider myself somebody that does it. Like, I was never really, I mean, in so many ways, like I've kind of lived my own life and not according to whatever social norms and not afraid to do that. So I'm not somebody that really compares myself to other people a lot, but the social media is killing me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've got to come up with something that stops that. I think what you're originally saying, and I know you by heart because you're not competitive like that. You truly do get excited for everybody's wins. That is so
I totally
exciting.
do.
But I remember when Cal was younger, I knew some people whose kids were friends of his. And the parents, if they didn't go somewhere on spring break and the other families did, and they were posting pictures, then that person was miserable because the other family was posting pictures of their amazing spring break. And they didn't, do it because they put their money towards whether it was a house remodel or a party, something else. So they didn't go on that fabulous trip. And I always used to think, these are friends of yours. Like, be happy for them. I look at pictures of my friends' vacations or what their child just got first seat in the orchestra for their, or their child just got Eagle Scout, and I get so excited for them.
Right? I know. So
happy for them. I don't know. My mind doesn't think that way in the comparison level. I do a little bit more of it in the business world, but in my personal world, I don't do it.
Personal. But I can't say I struggle with that in the personal world, but definitely in business, I'm starting to.
All the time in the personal world. And I think it's worse in the personal world for the younger generation, because they think they've got to be just like everybody else out there. And the majority of the posting is not reality. People only post the highlights. They don't post the lowlights. Like right now, we're posting the lowlights. Most people don't post the lowlights. They only want to say, my life is perfect. This is what I do. Da, da, da. My business is perfect. Look at how great we are. Da, 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 da. We have slow seasons. We mess up orders. I've shipped something to the wrong person. We do it,
Yeah.
So is that the mantra you're going to put out there every time you feel that way?
I think I'm going to say comparison is the thief of joy, and I'm going to find a joyful thing. I think when I find that, I'm going to find a joyful thing.
I want you to find something short and to the point that just is like a boom.
And you know what, as I'm thinking about this, I know what we're going to do our next Get Real on, because it's something that is the flip side of this. When people, and I've had this happen so many times in my life, when people are jealous, or maybe you post a highlight reel or you have something good going on, what happens? Why do trolls come out? Why do people want to knock you down? Why do, like, there's a flip, there's the flip side to that, of the
They
people
want
that
to
aren't kind
be.
of getting that comparison, that are doing that comparison, feel they have to knock the other person down. So there's the whole flip side to be on the receiving end of that. Yeah. So, all right. But that's a whole other ball of wax, right?
I'm going with Carrie Underwood. Love wins, y'all. Love wins.
Oh, yeah.
In the end,
Yeah.
love wins. And we just need to keep throwing that through and trying to get that through to everybody. Be happy for everybody. Yeah, the troll thing drives me nuts. I liked the thought of the sarcastic thought of, oh, well, thanks for helping my algorithm. I think that's really funny.
Yeah, that's great. Doesn't work when it happens in real life. And yeah, I'm gonna bring you guys a couple of crazy stories in our Get Real series about what's happening on the other end of that. But yeah, all right. Well, all right. So I have my plan. I am going to, my mantra is going to actually be the quote we started with. Why couldn't I do that myself? I needed you. Comparison is
why
the
we need
thief
each
of
other.
joy.
That's why we need our community.
Yeah. And the other thing is, you never know when you're looking at something, what is happening behind the scenes. One thing I say to my children over and over and over again when they're having a problem with somebody else is, you never know what is going on behind the scenes. You never know what is going on in somebody else's life. Yep. Give them grace. Yep. So yes, I'm going to keep that in mind as well. You have no idea what is happening in somebody else's house, in somebody else's heart. So,
yep. So if you struggle with the same thing, give us some feedback in the comments. We'd love to hear your struggles. And if you have a way that you get yourself over it, or if this discussion makes you come up with one, we'd love to know what you're going to do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Would totally appreciate that, because comparison is the thief of joy, but it is not going to be stealing my joy.
Yeah.
Because
and if you are an organic listener and an organic viewer of our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that like button. I'm going to throw that out there, help you with those numbers. I'm going to build that organic reach. So, yeah.
That's hilarious. All right. Thank you so much, Molly.
All right. See you next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining Libby and Molly, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers. Find all the ways to connect with us at consignmentchats.com. Episodes are available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. In addition, you can find us on Facebook in our Consignment Chats community. Until next time.